Hi, Phil Yeager here with a YouTube tip. For some of you, you're running out of time, you're starting to panic, and you may take the wrong presentation. And by the way, before I go on with my discussion, I just want to mention, how do you like the color of my shirt? Green, not the typical Yeager CPA Review shirt. But anyway, let's get down to why I wanted to do this little talk. I go through the blogs and I look at them and, I just have to sometimes disagree with the advice that's given by some of these blogs. And some of them just say, do multiple choice and then, buy someone's notes and do multiple choice. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been in this business a long time, longer than most people. And let me give you advice that will get you through the CPA exam. Now, my advice is this. Going over old multiple choice questions from the CPA exams and also author-constructed questions, it's good to do. However, what's more important before you just do multiple choice, because after a while, if you just keep doing multiple choice, all right, you're going to memorize the answers. But you got to ask yourself, do I know the concepts? If you don't know the concepts, they're not going to give you the same questions. They expect you to learn the concepts. I go to the AICPA meetings twice a year. And I remember the first year after they implemented the computer-based exam. And Craig Mills, who was then head of the examination division for the AICPA, he made a statement to the different course providers who were there, and I was one of those. I was fortunate enough to be there. And Craig Mills said, with this new exam, more than ever, you have to know the concepts. That's what they really want you to know, the concepts. Now, how do you know the concepts? By getting a course that does have video and explains the concepts and then illustrates those concepts with multiple choice. Not just buying a program that's just questions, and just after a while memorizing the answers. Because I can guarantee you this, as my microphone falls off, I can guarantee you this, ladies and gentlemen, all right? They're not going to give a lot of repeat questions on the exam. It's just not going to happen. So, I'm going to give myself a little plug here. We have an intensive, a cram. It is the best review you're ever going to get. And for regulation, it's about 16, 17 hours. For financial, it's about 19, 20 hours. But we review all the concepts again. And then you can make note of what areas I need to really go back and do the questions on. Now, if you are working out of the Wiley book, the ones we do, I suggest that you do the questions that I assign you. And I've been reading, CPA Net. It's a gentleman on there. Well, I don't know if it's a gentleman or a lady. But the person says, listen to what Phil says as far as the questions. He doesn't pick easy questions because he wants to make sure you understand the concepts. And then, if you have the Wiley Test Bank, I would go to their study mode and go over the questions, which, as far as our course is, relevant to the subjects we go over. You don't have to go over every question because they're not going to test you on those concepts. We, the people who teach my course, including myself, we have a good feel for what's going to be on that exam. Therefore, we have a good feel of what concepts you have to know. And the new concepts they're introducing, effective July 1st, guess what? There are no questions on that. And here's another thing. I don't think most people realize it. All the courses, all the publishers, they get the same questions from the AICPA because the AICPA leases these questions. So if you think you can go to that book versus that book versus that book, all right, they're all basically going to have the same questions. It's not the questions you need to go over and over again. It's the fact you know the concepts. And once again, our cram will teach those concepts to you, a shorter version than our full course, but it's a video teaching course. In fact, you know what? We're the only video teaching course out there that goes over questions to illustrate the concepts. Now, this is another thing you should know as far as passing this exam. Time management. And I want to mention two parts, financial and regulation. Now, please go by this, and it'll definitely help you. Financial accounting is a total of 4 hours. That's 240 minutes. Now, you're going to have 3 testlets of multiple choice and 1 testlet of simulations. For financial, I recommend you spend 50 minutes on each testlet of multiple choice and keep moving. All right? Don't check it off to come back and review it. You just got to keep moving. And then at the end of 50 minutes, close that testlet. Can't come back to it. All right? Go to testlet number 2. All right? More multiple choice. I believe it's 30, but either way, 50 minutes. No more than 50 minutes. If you're running out of time and you have 5, 6, 7 questions, all right, then what you do is you're approaching that 50 minutes. All right? Just pick an answer, guess, close it, and go to the 3rd testlet and spend no more than 50 minutes on those multiple choice. Now, you have used up 150 minutes of the 240 minutes. Now, that leaves you 90 minutes for the testlets. Not for the testlets, I'm sorry, I said that. The simulations, task-based simulations. And by the way, it's the 4th testlet. Now, on those 6 task-based simulations, one of them is a pre-test question. Doesn't count. And if you have one of those task-based simulations, which has multiple parts and is very confusing, skip over it. Do as many of the other ones as you can. You don't have to do every question to actually pass this exam. But you got to do at least a substantial amount from each testlet, including the task-based simulations, because the chances are that task-based simulation with the multiple parts, right, and there should only be one of those, probably is the pre-test question. There is one pre-test, as I said, task-based simulations. The other ones do count. And in the multiple choice, there are some pre-test multiple choice. Now, what about regulation? Well, regulation is 3 hours. So, all right, what you do is there's 24 questions in each testlet of multiple choice, 72. Do not spend more than 30 minutes on each testlet of multiple choice. So that's 30, 30, 30, 90 minutes. The exam is 3 hours, 180 minutes. You've used 90 minutes for the multiple choice. Therefore, leave yourself 90 minutes for the task-based simulations. Once again, one of them is a pre-test question. Doesn't count. If one of them has multiple sections within that task-based simulation, all right, skip over that one and go to the other ones. You can look at all of them at the same time and do as many of it as you can. So, let me just leave you with one more thing. On financial accounting, in order to pass this exam, they give a lot of journal entries. That's what the task-based simulations are. A lot of journal entries. Please make sure you know the journal entries for the key chapters in financial accounting and regulation. Don't forget, business law is very important. All right? Don't say, oh, I didn't expect that many business law questions, because 40% of the regulation is business law. So, please listen to my approach, and I believe it'll get you through the CPA exam. I can tell you, I've had many, many people get through the exam, thousands and thousands. And I'm not telling you that to brag. I'm telling you that to give you confidence. So what I'm saying is what's going to take to get you through the exams. Thank you, and good luck.